Big news in the world of AI, Anthropic, the company behind the chatbot Claude, has agreed to pay $1.5 billion to settle a lawsuit brought by a group of authors. This is the largest copyright recovery ever publicly reported according to the authors' lawyers. So what happened here? Well, back in 2020, a group of authors sued Anthropic, claiming that the company illegally used their copyrighted books to train its AI model without permission. Not that whole do as I say, not as I do thing. Well, yeah, they were called out for that too. In court documents, Anthropic had argued that using copyrighted material was necessary to develop a useful product. But once Claude was up and running, it turned around and sent takedown notices to users for creating infringing content using its own service. Talk about hypocrisy. Well, Anthropic wasn't alone in this. Other AI giants like OpenAI, Microsoft, and Meta have faced similar lawsuits for doing the same thing. But this settlement is the biggest we've seen so far. The authors in this case say that Anthropic downloaded millions of pirated books to train its AI. And although Anthropic argued that their use of the books was a fair use, a judge ruled in June that it wasn't. The judge acknowledged that training AI on copyrighted material could sometimes be considered fair use, but said that Anthropic's actions went beyond that. According to the judge, Anthropic saved more than 7 million pirated books in a central library for its AI to learn from, which was not okay. Now here's what the settlement agreement says. Anthropic will pay $1.5 billion into a settlement fund. That's around $3,000 for each 500,000 books that were allegedly downloaded. This amount could rise if more works are found to have been used. Anthropic also agreed to destroy all the downloaded books that it used for training and QA and use them for anything else. It's important to note that the company didn't admit any liability. It just said they wanted to move on. This case has big implications for how AI is developed going forward. For years, AI companies have trained their models on huge sets of data, including copyrighted material, without getting permission or paying creators. This deal changes that. Now, they have to seriously consider the consequences of using copyrighted material without permission. For authors, this is a big win. Mary Reisenberger, CEO of the Authors Guild, called it a vital step in acknowledging that AI companies cannot simply steal authors' creative work to build their AI, but some say it's not enough. Paul Aiken, executive director of the Authors Guild, said, "The fact that Anthropic did not admit liability should not be misconstrued as an admission on our part that there is no liability. We believe that Anthropic's conduct was a willful violation of federal copyright law." So what happens next? The deal needs court approval, but similar cases are moving through the courts. One judge has already ruled that using copyrighted work without permission would be unlawful in many circumstances. Cases against Meta, OpenAI, and Microsoft are still pending. And if courts keep ruling against them, we could see even bigger settlements. In fact, this could force a major shift in the AI industry. Companies may have to start paying for licensed content, or find new ways to train their models. Some might prefer to partner with publishers to ensure they have the rights to use copyrighted material. Others may choose to raise prices to cover the cost of licensing or developing new training models. And then there's the issue of enforcement. How will these companies ensure that their AI models don't continue to infringe on copyrights? Will they have to constantly monitor their models? What happens if they find that their models are still using infringing material? These are tough questions that don't have easy answers. But one thing is clear: the days of AI companies scraping copyrighted work for free are over. They can't just get away with it anymore. This settlement is a big wake-up call. It shows that courts are taking copyright infringement seriously and that authors are willing to fight back. It also shows that there's a growing divide between Silicon Valley and the rest of the country. While tech companies have benefited from the status quo, ordinary people haven't. The status quo has allowed big tech to become so powerful that it can control what we see and say online. But now there's hope for change. The government is stepping in to rein in big tech, and that could be a good thing for everyone. Here's my question for you. Do you think AI companies should have to pay creators for using their work? Or do you think that this is stifling AI progress? Either way, let me know in the comments below. Also, please don't forget to subscribe for more AI news and analysis. Thanks for watching. See you next time.